Alright guys, we are at the range today, and we are going to be starting our project on Accurizing the Mosin Nagant. So, what is the first step? Well, the first step in Accurizing this thing is getting a baseline, figuring out how the weapon is shooting here in the stock configuration. And so that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to try to create the shooting experience that is as close to what a Soviet conscript might have gone through as we can reasonably get, right? That means that the only thing I've done to the weapon is cleaned it up, right? I've shot a couple rounds on the family's property just to check the zero when I went out hunting, but beyond that, all I've done is clean up the Cosmoline. So what I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be shooting open sights, shooting bulk surplus ammunition, just truly getting as close as we can to the experience that a Soviet conscript would have had. Now, full disclosure, I'm going to shoot probably maybe three rounds at 25 meters just to check the windage, because I worry I may have screwed it up when I was trying to test fit the bayonet. But if the windage is good, then we'll walk the target out to 25 meters, and I'm going to be putting 5 rounds into this target. And we're going to be using those 5 rounds as our standard default grouping. And then we're going to undertake our big Accurizing project. And then when we're done, we are going to put another 5 rounds down range. And we're going to see just how much improvement we can get on our Mosin. So let's get started. Alright guys, range time on the default setup complete, and let's take a look at the target. So as you can see, right, the groupings are actually not too bad. This is 10 rounds, I decided. Range is pretty crowded, and it was taking quite a while for us to cycle through iterations. So I decided 10 rounds is just as good. Okay, so you can see the grouping. The first 5 are the upper grouping. And they were shooting actually excellent. And you can see I was still trying to get the sight picture just right, but the grouping for the second 5 is actually not too shabby either. I think the message is clear that this is a fine shooting rifle. And you know, given that we're talking about Soviet-made surplus ammo, open sights, I think there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. You can see based on the fact that I was pulling left a lot, I think that's a function of a really, really, really long trigger squeeze, which of course Mosins are notorious for having huge triggers. You know, I've read that some of them are up to like 12 pounds, which it seems believable. This is a huge trigger. I mean, I get bored pulling the trigger. It takes so long. So yeah, I think if we can reduce the trigger pull, improve the sights through an optic, I think we're going to be able to tighten those groupings up a lot. But I'm excited to see how this project goes. And certainly this is not, at least with these groupings, you know, my expectations are beat, and I'm pretty confident that we can turn this into a nice shooter.